And it's not
There was a lot less talk in round 2 of the House Criminal Jurisprudence Committee's deliberation on marijuana law reform, but ultimately more action. Committee members, still somewhat red-faced from last week's 6-hour marathon debate, which ended in utter stalemate, apparently decided to get down to business and settle their differences, if only to get some marijuana bill, any bill, out of committee and onto the House floor. State Representative Jim Maddox of Dallas, who had fought and failed last week to add liberalizing amendments to Governor Dolph Briscoe's proposed marijuana bill, spent the week bargaining with members of the governor's staff and opponents on the Jurisprudence Committee. Apparently, he did his homework well, because with few objections, the committee approved Maddox's compromise proposal, which calls for a misdemeanor packing up to 6 months in jail and or up to a $1,000 fine for first possession of any amount of marijuana. Those penalties are exactly half of what Briscoe had originally proposed in his bill, and in return for the reduced first possession penalties, Maddox had to allow Briscoe's proposed 2 to 10-year felony for second offense to remain in the bill. He also had to agree to stiffen the penalty for sale or delivery of marijuana from a felony packing 2 to 10 years to a felony packing 2 to 20 years. While 90% of the bill approved by the committee is amenable to both sides, marijuana legislation in Texas is still not out of the woods. For one thing, Houston Representative Ron Waters, a liberal who has all along advocated nothing short of total decriminalization of the law, added an amendment to the bill which is sure to draw opposition from the governor's office and conservative members of the House. The Waters Amendment is a resentencing provision, which allows persons currently serving felony sentences meted out to them under the current law to petition their judges for resentencing under the new misdemeanor provision, if and when it passes. Maddox says Briscoe has been dead set against any kind of resentencing provision all along, and that this was one point the governor absolutely refused to compromise during their discussions last week. He fully anticipates stiff opposition to the provision from some of the governor's lieutenants on the House floor. To further complicate things, a Senate subcommittee the same evening unanimously approved its own quite different marijuana bill. The Senate bill, as it now heads to committee, is quite a bit more lenient than the House bill, providing a mere 7 days in jail or up to a $200 fine for first possession of less than 4 ounces of grass. No doubt there is a lot of opposition to those low penalties in the full Senate Jurisprudence Committee, and certainly on the Senate floor, and that raises the specter of a replay of the long and bloody House fight on the issue in the Senate. Beyond that, there is the possibility of a conference committee battle over the issue. The problem is, with less than 30 working days left in the session, is there enough time for everyone to get together and get some kind of bill passed into law?